In this video, I'm going to show you how creating a double exposure in Photoshop is easy. We're going to start off with a profile image, and then we're going to bring in an image that we call our scene image, and we're going to use blending modes, layer masks, and adjustment layers to get an end result that has your creative touch to it. So I started off with a profile image. Now it doesn't have to be a profile image. I did a search on Google, and all these double exposure portraits here, the angle of the face doesn't matter. It could be side, it could be front. Your double exposure does not have to be in all black and white. It can be in color, half black and white, half color. So Google that, double exposure photography portrait, and you see all the different kinds of creative ways that people have done their double exposures. Most of these are on light backgrounds. So I started off here with this image. I've already cut out the image. You can use something like the quick selection tool, or you can come up here to select subject. Your cutout does not have to be 100% accurate because you're going to be blending in another image with this. So on my image, I'm going to hit shift and click on my layer mask thumbnail here. So that is what it looks like with my layer mask. If I hit command and click on my layer mask, there is my selection. I'm going to say command D to deselect, and I put a solid color adjustment layer underneath my model layer, and I made it white for right now. So it's good to have a light background. It doesn't have to be completely white, but it should be on the light side for right now. So now what I'm going to do is bring my second image in. I'm going to use this image right here. I'm going to use my move tool, and I'm going to drag it on top of the image of my model right here. I'm going to bring the opacity down a little bit so I can see what's behind my image. I'm going to call this building or buildings, and hit command T and hit 0 so that I can see my handles here, and bring it in as best I can to how I actually want this, and click the check mark to commit. And now on my buildings layer, I'm going to hold Alt or Option, and I'm going to make a clipping mask. So my buildings layer is clip to the model layer below. So now I want to duplicate the buildings layer, command J, and make sure I still have the clipping mask on both of them. And I think what I want to do is make some of this top pattern come down here on the bottom. So on this top image, I'm going to say command D and 0, and I'm going to right click in here and say flip vertical, and I'm going to position this, and I'm going to add a layer mask right here on this top layer. I'm going to paint with black and make sure my swatch over here is black. I'm going to hit X, and with the brush tool, a soft brush, I'm going to paint away this area that I don't want and leave it something like this. And on the bottom buildings layer right here, I'm going to add another layer mask, and on my layer mask I'm going to paint with black and remove some of the building that is coming over onto her face. With my model layer selected, I want to add a black and white adjustment layer. Now I'm going to make an adjustment to the background. Remember, I said it doesn't have to be completely white. It could be any color, but you want it kind of on the light side. So I'm going to click on the color fill right here and choose something that's a little bit darker and say OK. So now would be a good time to select your model layer mask, and with your brush you could paint black on any of the areas here that you feel you don't want, to kind of clean things up. And you could use your left and right bracket keys to make your brush smaller, and anywhere you feel like you want to add or remove something, just to tidy it up a little bit. Now I'm going to add a levels adjustment layer right up above the model. And I want to take this slider down here, this highlight slider, take a little bit of the highlights off of her face, something like that. And by the way, you have all these other sliders to adjust if you really want to. I just wanted to get the highlights off of her face. And also I'm going to add a black and white adjustment layer to the very top of the buildings. So I'm not sure if I want to leave it this way yet, but you have the flexibility here to go back on any of these layers and make changes and kind of play with your image here and touch it up any way that you feel you want to. So now let's add a little bit more color into it. Now we're going to add a gradient map, and I'm going to look for legacy gradients, and you should be able to add the legacy gradients here, append default gradients right here if you don't see it. But I'm going to use something called Photographic Toning, and we'll get copper 2 here and say okay. And I'm going to drop my opacity. Just wanted to give it a little color, and I might want to keep my color in the building image. So I'm going to turn off my black and white layer here. And now if you want to add a little bit of contrast, you can use a curves or a levels adjustment. I'm going to try levels here, see what I like. I think I just wanted the midtones there adjusted a little bit. And the last thing, these two building layers right here, select both of them and change them to lighten. And I can go back to any of these layers and change the opacity and blend modes to kind of play with it to see what I like. I think I like the color in there. If I want to add more from the gradient map, I could turn that up a little bit, change the color of the background, can make it a little bit darker. But I encourage you to go back into your adjustments and change them to see what you like, because remember, it is your artistic eye that is creating this double exposure. There is no right or wrong. If you want more tutorials like this, click or tap on one of the videos on the screen now. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.